What's up, y'all? How the hell are you? Well, another 10 hours down. I might do 8 tomorrow and 10 on Friday. That kind of depends on how I feel, though. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. I know that, hey Ashley, how you doing? Yeah, I see all that love you giving me. Every little bit helps, baby. That's right. What's new with you? You made it today. Yes, you did. How about that? I'm on a little later than I usually am because this work I've been working 10 hours, or this week I've been working 10-hour days. So I'm running about 2 hours behind my 2:30 schedule and 1 hour behind my 3:30 schedule, which is what I usually do. But I've decided that I needed to start working some overtime. So hopefully there'll be some guys working Saturday. I can come in Saturday too and rack up on some overtime. Or we'll see. Yeah, I know, baby. But you wouldn't have to if I lived closer. But unfortunate enough for you, I don't live closer. So you just got to be patient like everybody else, you know. I'll let a few more people get in here and see if we got some people hanging out with us today. I got a doozy of a subject to talk about today. And but I want to wait until I get a few people in here before I start talking about it, because I'm pretty miffed. Miffed is a word we use here in the hello, let's be friends. Hello, hello, hello. I'm not drinking beer or anything. This is Waterloo. There you go. There's your shout out, Waterloo. All right. So I got 5 people in here. I'm going to talk about something interesting today. So, about a month ago, I don't know if you guys may remember, if any of you stopped in when I was talking about, we had 2 hailstorms back in June. I think it was June, July, like early June, late May, early June. We had 2 hailstorms come through. One, Grandma Margaret, she's I don't know, she's probably at home taking it easy. You know, with Grandpa dying, she's having a hard time dealing with it. But she was telling me yesterday, you know, that she was having some problems with sleep and stuff like that. She's oversleeping. So I'm guessing she's probably pretty depressed. Stuff like that. Hello, let's be friend. Yeah. Bless her heart, I miss her too. I want to see her again. Well, maybe you can, you know. Maybe one of these days you can come visit. I don't know. But anyway, so man, the sky looks bad over there. I got some storms rolling through. You know, the afternoon storms. Yeah, before it's too late. Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, so we got some storms rolling in, which is perfect opportunity to me talk about these storms that came through in late May, early June. We had a hailstorm, one on a Friday. That was small hail, and it lasted for about 10 minutes, no big deal. And then we had one come through on a Monday, the same week, after the weekend. And it didn't last as long, but the hail was like, you know, golf ball size or so. And it beat the death out of my brand new car. Well, I I had the insurance people come look at my car, and the settlement went pretty well, and I did pretty good on that one, I think. But my house got damaged too. My roof on my house got damaged by hail. So I made arrangements for a guy to come from like a general contractor. He came out and looked at it and agreed, yeah, you need a roof and this and that and the other thing. So I called the insurance company that I deal with and asked them if they would send an adjuster out. So an adjuster comes out, he looks at everything, and he's like, well, we'll cut you a check, for like half of what we're going to give you, and have your people come out, fix whatever's wrong, and then we'll pay them the rest, right? So a week after that, I went on vacation, so I really didn't get to deal with anything, as far as my settlement and everything went. So when I got back from vacation, I started thinking to myself, well, I know a guy that does roofs. I'll just call him and have him come out and give me an estimate on the job. So he came out, I guess it was like last Saturday or last Friday or something. It was like an off day, but it was on a weekend, and it was last week. So it was either Saturday or Sunday last week. He says, well, I'm going to go home and I'll write you up a contract, or I'll write up an estimate. And then if you want me to, I'll go ahead and write a contract. And I said, no, let me see your estimate first. So he drops me an estimate in the email the next day. Now, this is a personal friend of mine who I went to a Harley class with, when I was getting my motorcycle license. And I knew that he owned a roofing company, so I thought, well, what better way, to take care of the small man in town than to, have him come over, being that he's a friend of mine, I'll have him come over and he can do this roof for me. So I get his estimate, and he wants to know if I want to go ahead and get started. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I went over the paperwork for the insurance company, and there's some numbers that I don't quite know what to think about. So I call the insurance settlements, for the people that you talk to when you get, hail damage and shit like that to your house. And of course, nobody answers. So I leave a message, and I'm like, hey, look, this is, my name, and then, I'm calling about this claim number, and, I have some questions about the settlement and how people get paid. So the next day, that was Monday. What is today? Today's Thursday, right? So that was Tuesday when I called. I'm sorry, it was Tuesday when I called them and left that message. So they got back to me yesterday around lunchtime. So I'm talking to this lady, and I'm like, okay, so I've got some questions, about this settlement, because I've got a guy that's ready to do my roof, but I just want to make sure that, once you love the shades. Yeah, me too. That's why I wear them. But anyways, so I'm like, I just want to make sure that I can get this guy paid. And I'm all for your contract, but I really need to just make sure that I'm going to be able to get you paid, before you start this job, because I'd hate for him to get in the middle of the job and then find out that I can't afford to pay him. So the lady calls me from the insurance place, and she's like, well, let me ask you a question, or what questions do you have that you want to ask me? And I said, well, first of all, I'd like to know, if there's any money past what you guys quoted me for my roof. Because, I've got this friend of mine that wants to do the roof, and that I've asked him to do it for me, and he's willing to do it. But I want to make sure he can get paid. And she's like, well, what is your question? So I tell her, I said, look, how much above the amount that you guys gave me can I expect to get so that I can pay my roofer guy? And she's like, well, we've paid you all we're going to pay you for the roof. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So she starts talking about deductibles, which, I understood deductibles, because any insurance policy, you're going to have a deductible, even though that's your money that you've put into a fund, a general fund, for so long, and you know, that money should be allotted to you for whatever it is you do. I say, well, I understand. Okay, that's cool. I understand. So the deductible was $2,500. And she's like, well, you know, anything beyond the amount of money that we gave you for the guy to come do your roof, you're gonna have to pay out of pocket. And I'm like, well, but there's other money, you know, that you guys told me that I was gonna have, and I was specifically told that if my roofer found anything, that he could give you a call and you would pay him for whatever it is you missed, right? So, signal, yeah, I know, my signal comes in and out through here for some reason. Anyway, so I'm on the phone with this lady, and then she starts talking about depreciation, and I'm like, well, you know, what is depreciation? And she's trying to tell me, you know, but she can't explain it in layman's terms where, you know, I can really understand what she's trying to tell me. And I said, you know, that word doesn't compute with me, because when I bought my house in 2010, I paid cash for my house, and my house has doubled, almost tripled in value since I bought it. So I don't understand where you come up with depreciation. So she's, and this number is pretty high. It's like $4,600 or something like that. That this depreciation, quote unquote. So I'm thinking to myself, well, what is this depreciation? So she's telling me, because my roof was done 13 years ago, you know, there's normal wear and tear, and they have an estimated value of the use off of those 25-year shingles that we've used $4,600 and however many dollars, you know, worth of use out of these, and they're not going to pay me that $4,600. And I'm like, well, whoa, wait a minute. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, I don't understand how you can take value from something that needs to be replaced. That makes absolutely no sense to me. So I'm going back and forth with this lady, trying to get her to explain to me why it is that I can't get any more money from my roofer when there was other money that was allotted on the contract or on the settlement. And she's like, oh, well, you know, we can, you know, for your gutters and, you know, for your window frames, we can, you know, you have somebody come and do that, and then we'll have somebody, you know, that'll pay them once we get a bill of sale or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what the hell? Can I not just take that money that I would have paid somebody else, you know, and give it to my contractor, my roof guy, so that he gets paid and he's happy? You know, because not only do I have the house to be roofed, but I also have a storage building that I keep my motorcycles and scooters and tools and, you know, junk in, right? So, and she's telling me, you know, no, we can't cut you a check. Well, why can't you cut me a check? The money belongs to me. It's my money to do what I see fit with it. And then I ask her the golden question, ching, what the hell am I paying insurance for if you fucking idiots won't pay, you know, as much as this is, and then you're going to steal $4,500, $4,600 from me for this depreciation? You know, what? I mean, it's not like a used car. You're not going to take those fucking shingles and give them to somebody else and have them use them. So where's the wear and tear? You know, and she was like, oh, you know, well, you need to calm down and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, woman, you just don't know what kind of nerve you've already struck in me right now. You know what I mean? I'm here trying to find out why not only did they take the $2,500, which was my deductible, but now they're taking another $4,600 on top of that, and I don't have enough to pay my roofer? You gotta be fucking kidding me, right? This is some kind of a joke, you know? So I did some adding. So my roofer gave me an estimate of $6,950. Now that's to do my house and, you know, the twirly things on top, you know, for exhaust or whatever, and then the cap, you know, that goes over my chimney, and then my building, right? So that's $6,950. Well, if you take $4,600 and then you add another $2,500 to that, that's like well over $7,000, which is going to be more than what my roof is going to cost me. So I don't understand. You know, it's like these fucking insurance people are a fucking scam. You know, you pay into this general fund for so fucking long. I've been paying on this shit since I bought my house. I've had my house. Well, I did have a hailstorm come through in 2012, but I didn't have to pay anything out of pocket. And now all of a sudden they're talking, you know, like depreciation of shingles. What the fuck? So if you do the math, okay, if you do the math and you figure, okay, that's a 25-year shingle that's on my roof now, okay, and I've only had the roof on there for 13 years, so that's a little bit over half of the time allotted for the 25-year shingles. Okay, so if you take that $4,600 and you take out, you know, a couple hundred, you know, because of the 1 month or the 1 year over, you know, you add that together, you're coming up with, you know, like $8,500 to $9,000 for a roof. Well, my roof didn't cost that much last time I had it fucking done. So here I am having to worry about whether or not, you know, oh shit, there's a fucking wreck up here or something. Damn it. I hate coming this way, but if I go the other way, I lose my signal. But anyway, so here I am trying to find, you know, trying to figure out where it is that, you know, why are they taking all this money? I mean, I understand the $2,500 deductible. Okay, yeah, sure. You get $2,500 because, you know, you have service fees or paperwork fees, or, you know, you got to pay your people to come out, or whatever it is, or, you know, or it makes my freaking insurance cheaper. I don't know. Okay, so $2,500. Yeah, I kind of understand that. But then to take another $4,600 and a total of about $7,000, which is more than enough to do my fucking roof. Excuse me. I was losing my camera there. It's sliding over. Anyway, so I'm pretty fucking irate at this point, you know. Now I got to come up with another. Well, let's see. They gave me a little bit over, like, I don't know. They gave me about 3/4 of what I need to get. I don't want to say a dollar amount, but just trust me when I say it's about 3/4 of the amount that it's going to take to do my roof. And I got to come up with another $2,000. What do they expect me to just shit $2,000? Jesus Christ! You know, I've got a mortgage to pay. I've got, you know, car insurance. I got their insurance I have to pay. You know, food, groceries, whatever, gas money. I got regular bills I got to pay. How the fuck am I going to come up with $2,000? You know, when the insurance should pay it, the whole thing. You see what I mean? Why didn't they take the $2,000 off of the other half of the stuff that I needed done and give me enough to get my roof repaid? See, that's what I don't understand. They should be able to play with the numbers and juggle it around a little bit to where I don't have to worry about the man getting paid, you know? And I'm just beside myself because, you know, I don't have $2,500 just to fucking go throwing around. And I told this lady, you know, I talked to yesterday, I said, you know, I really hate dealing with insurance companies because you guys just try to fucking lowball people. You know, all this money I pay, why the fuck am I paying insurance? You know, you guys are fucking lowballing me on money that I've already put into a general fund. You know what I mean? Why are you taking advantage of me and, you know, making the big guy at the main desk with a tie on by sitting behind a big desk, fucking rich, and I'm out here struggling to make a living and I'm paying your fucking bills? You know, that doesn't compute when you talk about, you know, why you can't give me the money that I need to fix my fucking roof. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like it's an immediate need, okay? But then, you know, when she's talking about this depreciation thing, that's what really, really gets me, is that $4,600 they're telling me that they're taking out off the because depreciation. Okay, so I was talking to somebody last night about the same thing, and she was telling me that they did the same shit to her on her house, and unfortunately enough, it's the same fucking insurance company. And I'm gonna say, it's Farmers Insurance. Farmer fucking sucks. So if you got insurance with Farmers, get rid of them now, because I'm telling you right now, if you have any kind of issues with hail hitting your house and causing damage on your roof, fucking Farmers Insurance is not gonna pay what they should be paying. They're gonna find out every little way to squeeze every penny that they can out of you, so that you have to come out of pocket with all the rest. You see what I mean? And it makes absolutely no sense to me. You know, these fucking insurance companies are scam artists. They're fucking thieves. They're liars. You know, I don't get it. I don't get how I could pay insurance. You know, I'm paying like, I don't know, probably $300 or $400 a fucking month in insurance on my house, even though it goes through an escrow account. Okay, so I got a mortgage, right? And I got my mortgage through a fairly reputable company. And the actual, what do they call it? Equity in my home, or, you know, like the loan amount that's for my home specifically, is like $435, $450 a month, something like that. So, but my fucking house payments are $1,000, right? So here I am trying to figure out how it is that my house payments are $1,000, you know, and then all this extra money is being given to an insurance company, and now some of it goes to taxes and, you know, whatever else. But, you know, I'm paying at least $400 a month just for the insurance alone, and have been doing this now for, well, let's see, I switched companies back in, I want to say it was probably 2013 or 2014. I switched insurance companies because I had insurance on my car through one person, and then I had insurance on the house through somebody else, but I also took out a loan. I'm sorry, it was 2017. So since 2017, I've been paying over $400 a month estimated value for my insurance company, you know, for what was this, 25, so 8 years, right? 8 and 7 is 15, is that right? I'm really bad at math sometimes. My math ain't mething or something, okay? And I know people are leaving because they're tired of hearing me bitch and complain, but you know what? I need to bitch and complain, and I need to call out fucking Farmers Insurance, because Farmers Insurance sucks. They suck bad. And I'm gonna call my insurance guy, and I'm gonna have him switch my insurance to somebody else, because these motherfuckers have just really gotten on my last fucking nerve, and I'm tired of dealing with this bullshit. You know, it's gonna come to the point that I'm gonna have to get on the phone with somebody, and I'm gonna have to rustle some feathers and break some eardrums and voice my opinion about this, so that these motherfuckers, first of all, they need to give me that $4,600 back, because I don't give a damn how old those shingles are. Okay, it's not like you're taking my shingles off of my house and putting them on somebody else's. $4,600, okay, estimated value of depreciation. What the fuck is that? Okay, depreciation. That's bullshit is what it is. They just come up with some fancy word to figure out a way to rip fucking people off, and that's what they do. You know what I mean? It just, sorry, but damn, that's bad. Yeah, it's bad. My language, I know you are. Yeah. Yep, that's right. It's fucking bad, Ashley. And these motherfuckers don't care, you know? I mean, it's not like these people don't have fucking houses of their own. How would they feel if they were in my shoes? You know what I mean? How would they feel if they were the ones sitting on a couch listening to this bullshit about some fucking depreciation, on top of, you know, paying my deductible, which the deductible I can understand, because with most insurance policies you have a deductible. But when you start talking about depreciation of something, wear and tear, I can't help that it fucking hailed in my house. you know, and that I need my shingles replaced. You know, what would they do 10 years down the road, you know, if we had another hailstorm and I needed to get them done again, you know, with like some new shingles or something? They're going to depreciate it again? Jesus Christ. You know, $4,600 plus that $2,500 would put a new roof on my house, and I could replace it with fucking plywood. But no. Not if you got farmers insurance. Nope, not happening. Not farmers. You know what I mean? So if any of you guys are girls, or whatever you think you are out there, I don't know, your pronouns or whatever, if you have farmers insurance, drop them now, because if you don't, you're going to end up in the same fucking position I'm in. And about another two or three people that I was speaking with last night told me the exact same thing that they're going through, and how much they fucking got dicked around and fucking ripped off through farmers insurance, because farmers insurance doesn't want to pay what they're supposed to fucking pay. You know, it's a fucking ripoff. It's a scam, and they take advantage of people. You know, all insurance companies do it, but goddamn, there's got to be something that can be fucking done to make these insurance people be firm or fair, and hold firm to the fact that, you know, we pay them for a reason. We give them money to fix our shit when it gets broken. You know what I mean? We don't just fucking sit out here twiddling our thumbs and pay just because we like to fucking pay. Unfortunately enough for me, I'm in a position where I kind of have no choice, you know, because I have a mortgage on my house. So I have to keep insurance on my house, you know, regardless. But I'm telling you right now, I'm fucking done with this fucking farmer's insurance. These motherfuckers are getting ready to find themselves one customer less. And I'm going to find a way to get that $2,150 that they still owe me. I'm going to find a way to get that money, and I'm going to fucking pay my roofer, because I'm telling you right now, this is fucking bullshit. And I'm going to get on the phone, like I said, with one of these assholes from this fucking, you know, adjustment people, you know, what do they call it? The catastrophe. Natural catastrophe is what they call it. Yeah, I know, calm down. I'm sorry, Ashley, I'm all fucking worked up about this, but you know what? I work, and I work to have nice things, okay? I work to pay people so that I can keep nice things. I work to pay people so that if something happens to my things, they can fix my things. You see what I mean? So it's all a great big fucking, it's all just a big ball. It's like a snowball effect. You know what I mean? So here I am left now to try and figure out what I'm going to do about trying to get my roofer paid. You know, I don't get it. I don't understand how these fucking people have a conscience. You know, what's up, batshit? Dude, you've missed it all. I'm telling you right now, you need to go back and watch this from the beginning, because you've missed it. And yeah, you want to talk about batshit crazy? I'm fucking batshit crazy today. I'm telling you right now, and there's a good reason for it. But if you'll go back and look at my shit, you'll understand. All right, well, listen, listen, guys, I'm at home. I'm gonna get off of here right now, because if I don't, I'm gonna have a fucking coronary right here in my truck, and I don't feel like that shit today. So I'm gonna go fucking eat a gummy or something, and I'm gonna fucking calm down, and I'm gonna enjoy my evening. I'm gonna go to work tomorrow. I got a concert to go to tomorrow night, so I need to get a good night's rest. So, mind blown, I got to get out of here. But you guys have a good day, and thanks for stopping in, all my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to my page, please, or my channel, please do, or like it or something, or whatever you guys do out there. If you want to shout out real quick, just type something. I'll give you a shout out. You're gonna have 1 minute from right now, and that starts now. Okay, so batshit crazy. Yeah, peace, aliens. Yeah, same to you, buddy. I really appreciate you stopping in. I don't usually, really care about the views and things like that, because I'm not getting paid to do this. But this is just a good way for me to relieve stress, and that's what I do. I got to have something to do with my time, keep me occupied, and to keep you guys entertained. You know what I mean? All right, you got 30 seconds. If anybody else wants a shout out or anything like that, type your message down at the bottom. I'll give you a free shout out. I don't require you to subscribe. I don't require you to like my page or my channel or whatever the hell it is. I just do this so that I can keep you entertained. All right, 12 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, you guys take it easy. Fresh will pass next time. Yeah, batshit. Yeah, definitely stop in again. I'll be in a better mood next time, hopefully. I don't know, just kind of depends on how things go the next couple of days. Y'all take it easy out there. Peace and love. I'm out.